I think I should just say aloha. Aloha. Well, please thank Danny and Anna Kaka and the Beach Boys. Wasn't that awesome? Now, we're here to excite you. We're here to entertain you. We're here to educate you. We are here to inspire you. We are here to motivate you. Many, many things we're here to do. But before we can do any of those things, please, on behalf of all of us at Salesforce.com, on behalf of all of our employees, please let us just thank you. Thank you for everything that you do for us every day. We recognize you, our customers, have a choice, and that you chose Salesforce, and also that you've chosen here to be at Dreamforce is of great meaning to us. And we want to thank you. We want to thank you for all of that. And as we engage this conference, as we begin this incredible event, we want to say thank you, and we want to listen to you. We want to get your feedback. We want to interact with you. And we couldn't be more excited. Is this the best Dreamforce ever, or what? I want to just thank my team also. They've done just an incredible job, and this conference just gets better and better every year, and this is by far the best Dreamforce ever. I'll tell you, this year at Salesforce, we're celebrating our 15-year anniversary, now the #1 CRM company in the world, and the world's most admired software company, according to Fortune magazine, #7 on the world's best place to work. But I'll tell you, that we could not have imagined the most innovative company in the world now 4 years in a row. So thank you very much for that. Thank you. This conference is awesome. We now have had to up our registration number. We now have more than 145,000 people registered to attend the event. There's more than 400 companies here presenting their companies and products, and there's more than 5 million people joining us online. We have a phenomenal show put together for you. You saw the incredible program yesterday with Tony Robbins and this morning with Hillary. Wasn't she great? Wasn't she great? Phenomenal program tonight, and tomorrow will.i.am is here, and he is going to launch his whole company here tomorrow afternoon. In an incredible keynote, and you're going to see the future of wearables technology. It's just really the beginning. 1,450 sessions. There's something here for everyone. Now, I want to tell you that every year we do a concert, and here's another number we had to increase. More than $9 million raised for our children's hospitals. Thank you for that. Now, we've raised through the conference more than $26 million for the children's hospitals, and we have this incredible hunger drive, and we thought we were going to raise 1 million meals, and that was until Tony Robbins decided to match it and make it 2 million meals. So thanks for participating in our drive against hunger. When we started this company, we wanted to create a new technology model, cloud computing. We wanted to create a new business model, software as a subscription. We also recognized that we didn't want to just have this incredible product success and industry success, but we knew that as we proceeded on, we wanted to have great fulfillment, and we wanted to have, great satisfaction, and we knew that was only going to come from giving back at scale. That's why on the first day of Salesforce, we took 1% of our time, 1% of our equity, and 1% of all of our products, and we said we're going to give them back. Well, it's paid out way more than we could have expected. With more than 680,000 hours of community service, $68 million in grants, 23,000 nonprofit organizations. My favorite moment in Dreamforce right now, if you are with a nonprofit or NGO, stand up and be recognized. Stand up if you're with a nonprofit or an NGO. Come on, you know you are. Look at these kids. Woo! Come on. All right. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome you guys. Are you guys having a good time? Yeah. All right. Customers are getting younger and younger every year. Each day of this conference, we're kind of focused on another major philanthropic issue. And of course, yesterday we focused on hunger. Today we're focusing on children. Tomorrow we're focusing on our veterans. And we're encouraging everyone, every company, to understand how easy it is to link your business and your ability to give back, and nothing is going to make you happier in your life. Nothing is going to make you happier in your life than giving, and we want to show you how easy that is right here at Dreamforce, and we want to be a model of that, and I just want to thank everybody for that. Each year, we have a tough challenge for this conference, and I'll tell you why. Of course, we have these 23,000 nonprofits and NGOs that we're working with all over the world, so it's really hard for us to choose one that we want to profile. And this year, it actually became very easy, because there's an organization we've been working with now for about 2 years in a really focused and dedicated way. And at Salesforce, we really believe there's nothing more important. There's nothing more important than our children's health and education. And this year, we want to focus on our public schools, which all need our attention. This is an issue Salesforce is super focused on, and I want to profile for Dreamforce 2014 our San Francisco Unified School District. Let's take a look.
We had the makings of disaster in our middle grade schools. Whatever kids we were going to lose, we lost them in the middle school. None of the schools were Wi-Fi'd. And yet we were telling kids, here's the new economy, and you've got to master all these things, but there was no support. So we could literally see the future disaster ahead of us.
Half of our population, they're English learners. In addition to that, we have the highest percentage of socially, economically disadvantaged students, so poor kids.
You don't meet the needs of every single student every single day. I mean, let's just be honest, it's impossible. But one thing I really am proud about in San Francisco Unified is that our goal is to make that impossibility a reality, to meet everyone's needs.
We're a better city. We are a creative city. We're the innovation capital of the world. What do you do as an innovation capital of the world? Well, you create the conditions for a world-class public education system.
I still remember Marc Benioff asking, so tell me what nirvana is. If you could recreate the entire system, what would that be? We as educators are almost conditioned not to ask for too much, because you'll be disappointed. So to have somebody sit at the table and say, that's not big enough. Let's talk about the whole thing. It was incredibly transformative.
It took me back.
We haven't been asked to really think without limits.
It has been a fantastic partnership.
What Salesforce has done for us, it's just been phenomenal to be able to provide that opportunity for kids that don't have that at home.
With technology, we usually have hands-on experience, which makes the memories a lot more vivid.
The fact that they're actually integrating it into our schools and education, I think that's just so wonderful.
We talk about having students find their spark, that one thing that ignites that passion for what they're going to do. If we can find a way to really ignite each individual student, especially in middle school, then we've hooked them all the way through the rest of their high school education and beyond.
It helps me feel excited. I get to learn about all these cool apps, how technology works.
The best part of our work is watching a kid's eyes light up when they put together a few pieces of code and something actually works. It's amazing.
I had a 6th grader say, I can do this. I can do it. And so that enthusiasm is incredible.
One of the things that is most important with our partnership with Salesforce is that it's not just about the equipment. It's about the people. It's about the professional development. So to go into classrooms and see many, many students engaged, it tells me it's working.
It's not only the money, but it's the volunteers and the Salesforce workers actually coming into the classrooms, building that relationship. I don't think you can put a price tag on that.
Our hope is that people are paying attention to what's happening in the San Francisco schools. We think there is something special going on.
This really reflects a success of a city that is a world-class city. I think that we're creating conditions for generations of talent to be born in the city.
Personally, having entered the public school system speaking only Spanish, I was an English language learner. And the statistics are pretty dire for English language learners. But I remember the first time that a teacher actually said to me, "Richard, you're going to college, right?" That was my spark. Salesforce being the first to say we believe in you, that partnership has been the spark for our school system.
Sorry, I do get emotional. I get emotional because I see myself. I was an English language learner myself, and so it's very personal to me.
I know now that when the kids come in and they leave in the 8th grade, they're leaving from a good house.
There's like barely any women in certain, fields, and I want to be the one to like break that barrier.
Every single one of my students has an amazing story. They're the people that are going to find the cure for cancer. They're the people that are going to end the wars. They're the people that are going to make sure that no one's hungry. I mean, they are the ones that are going to change the world.
Reach upon the sky, reach upon the sky. We're gonna take you higher, 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 way up in the clouds. And we're not coming down. We're gonna shout it louder, louder, louder. Reach upon the sky, we're ready to fly. We're gonna take you higher, 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 way up in the clouds. And we're not coming down. We're gonna shout it louder, louder, louder.
Okay, please welcome Mayor Lee, Superintendent Carranza, and also Principal Lee. Please welcome them. Now, I want to tell you that as anyone knows who's ever tried to do anything philanthropic in this world, you can pitch, but you've got to have someone who can catch. And we have just the A team right here. And in San Francisco, our superintendent does not have to work with our mayor. They're peers. And they have formed, though, an amazing partnership in the spirit of all these great kids right here. And Principal Lee, you're just a fantastic leader of our public schools and one of our top middle schools here in San Francisco. So we're so thrilled to have the three of you here. Mayor Lee, put this in context for us. You have a huge vision for the middle schools in San Francisco, and you've brought us into that. Tell us all about that.
Well, Mark, first of all, I want to say thank you to you. Salesforce started here. They're growing here. They're going to be here. And what a wonderful conference you have, Dreamforce. The whole theme about giving back. You and Lynn and Salesforce Foundation have set the gold standard for philanthropy in this city, and it's changed the whole relationship between business and government and our schools. I want to say an official thank you on behalf of the City, County of San Francisco.
Thank you, Mayor.
You know, 2 years ago, we had this conversation, Mark, and we talked to each other about where our passions are. And you began by saying, let's put action behind our passions. You began with almost a $3 million investment in our public schools, to Wi-Fi all the schools, to make sure that we got some training for our teachers who weren't equipped for the new technology. And this second year, an unprecedented investment in our public schools, $5 million, to not just go for equipment. You're still training our teachers. But the other thing that you've done so well, and this is what happens in the technology world, you created an innovation fund to really get the emotion back for the teachers and principals, to get them back to their very first day of why they ever wanted to teach in a great city. And education, particularly the San Francisco Unified School District, That is the great equalizer of all equalizers. Because when you have the opportunity to invest in our kids, you're going to see the talent come years and years to come. We look forward to this, and you have caused a great revolution amongst all the other technology companies. Now we have SFUSD partnering just as Salesforce.com and Salesforce Foundation did, and they're now circling all of the campuses. And it's all the 130 campuses, all the schools. Will never have a teacher or a principal say that we don't have enough money or resources to educate our kids. This is the transformation that's going on in the city, and we have Dreamforce and we have Salesforce to thank. Thank you very much for being in our city. Thank you for being a great company.
Well, thanks so much, Mayor, for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you for inspiring us, motivating us, and thank you also for coming to the keynote instead of going to the Giants game. So thank you for that. Superintendent, you've partnered with the mayor in an unprecedented way. You've come together, and we have never seen such incredible leadership here in our San Francisco public schools. So thank you for that. What is your vision going forward? Where are we all going with this investment?
Well, thank you, Mark, and I want to join Mayor Lee also in thanking you on behalf of the 57,000 students in San Francisco's public schools. We know that you cannot have a world-class city without a world-class public education system. It just doesn't happen. So our vision is that every student in every one of our schools will have not only exposure, but an opportunity to engage at a very deep level with technology, and not technology for technology's sake, but to transform their learning. And we want our teachers to be able to embrace technology and new ways of computing. I saw so many people talk so eloquently about how they're changing their business model and how it's about customer service. Our customers are our students and our teachers. So we want them to have the best technology as well. And our vision is that not too long in the future, we won't have any more textbooks. And I say that because the textbook that is printed today is obsolete by the time it reaches our classrooms. Yet by students being able to access technology in a very deep way, they're able to find and create information very quickly, but very deeply. We know that that's a 21st century skill. And in San Francisco, we're so fortunate to be in the Mesopotamia of innovation and technology that it makes sense that our public schools will be at the forefront of that kind of learning.
Well, thank you so much, and to both of you. We could not be doing this without you, and you both have just delivered the incredible partnership that has enabled it. So thank you. And now, Principal Lee, you're a general on the front lines of all of this, and I've seen you firsthand. I've seen you with the other principals. You set an incredible example. Part of our program is to enable the principals as much as possible and give you everything you need to be successful. How is this affecting your school, and what else can everyone here in this conference and everyone who's watching online do for our public schools?
Well, I'd like to first echo what the mayor as well as our superintendent indicated in terms of the great work that you're doing for all of us, not just the San Francisco Unified School District, but all of the other organizations that you're supporting. As a native San Franciscan, just like yourself, I'm just very, very proud that a homegrown company like Salesforce and a homegrown guy like Marc Benioff is just doing so much for our city as well as all of the organizations. It's just incredible. This is my first Dreamforce. After this morning's speech by Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, I walked into one of the areas and saw all the booths, and I was just overwhelmed. I was just overwhelmed with all of the technology. And my Dreamforce is for all of our students here, as all of our other 57,000 San Francisco Unified School Districts, to be able to have that opportunity, to be able to work for all of your companies at some point in time. We have a very different population here in San Francisco, and that many of our kids are socially, economically disadvantaged. My particular school has 90% of our families are socially, economically disadvantaged. And for you, for Salesforce, to be able to provide the support, not only from a technological standpoint, but from the volunteer services, the Innovation Fund, It's just phenomenal. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thanks to the three of you. How about a huge hand for San Francisco Unified Schools? How about a huge hand for these kids right here? That's what it's all about. Come on, kids, stand up. All right, you can stand up, yeah. There's the kids. Let's keep our eye on the ball right here. It's our future. All right. Woo! Great job, you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, I have to tell you, we had done the first year investment, and then we're kind of deciding, well, are we going to go for year two? Because there's certainly a lot of programs in philanthropy that we start, and then they're not working. And so we're kind of evaluating, are we going to go for year two? So I had a personal trip out to our San Francisco Zoo. And while you're in San Francisco, if you haven't had an opportunity to go out and visit our zoo, you should do it. Anyway, I was at the zoo, and the head of the zoo comes running over to me. Oh, Mr. Benioff, so great to have you here. Are you part of SFUSD? Is that why you're here? I go, no, what do you mean? Oh, well, it's Dreamforce. And he goes, it's Dreamforce, come over here. And, we went over to see the giraffes, and, I was looking at them eye to eye. And then we were surrounded with all these great kids who are from the school district with their iPads, and they were running this incredible application out at the zoo. And it was crystal clear to me, and it was completely serendipitous that we had to continue this great program for our kids and for our public schools. Before we go on to the next chapter, I want to just ask Will I Am to stand up. Will, stand up, would you? Welcome back to Dreamforce, Will.
Thanks, Trey. Wouldn't miss it for the world. This is awesome.
Will, you're a huge advocate for public education. You are working on an incredible program in your own hometown with College Track. Can you give us a quick insight into your vision for public education and where we need to go?
Well, I was one of those disadvantaged kids from the projects, and my mom bussed me out to Brentwood and Palisades to go to school ever since I was 7 years old. And that education is what brings me here today. Those opportunities, that perspective on what wealth is, what families that live in houses are like. Because when you're in the projects, you don't know what poor is. And the schools that surround those projects are poor education. The teachers get paid far less than what the teachers got paid in Palisades. The funding per student is less. So my mom had a dream and a vision to send me out and bus me out to school. And then after I graduated and made something of myself and followed my dream in music, I realized that the magnet program was suffering. There wasn't investments in buses. And more importantly, Palisades was kind of moving towards the same type of funding for education than Roosevelt High School that I come from. Then I started meeting awesome people like yourself, because my success in music brought me to crazy corners in society, to where I'm talking to the head professor at CERN Laboratories in Montrose, and he invites us to go check out the particle accelerator. So I'm like, whoa, I read that in a Dan Brown book. That's for real. So then I meet that cat, and that's what inspired me to go to MIT all the time and meet with Professor Patrick at the Artificial Intelligence Lab. Then I started meeting all these wonderful, awesome people that impact culture in a totally different way. And then I met Lorraine Jobs after I saw Waiting for Superman. And I asked her, can you bring your program to my neighborhood? Because that movie, Waiting for Superman, is waiting for somebody that's not real, but the real problems. So the title of the film hurt me more than what they were talking about in the film. Because it didn't say we're waiting for Congress, or waiting for, LA Unified. We're waiting for something they're waiting for somebody with tights. So that hurt. So I was like, hey, you're a superwoman. That program is super. Can I bring that to my neighborhood? Then I met Dean Kamen. Hey, Dean, how much will it cost for your first robotics program to couple? And then Jack Dangerman. Hey, your Esri map tools are awesome. Can I use those tools for my classroom? I want my kids to make maps too. So I started coupling all these things together in my neighborhood. And now our kids are building robots, going to China with the State Department, learning Mandarin. They're went from a point 1.7 GPA to now 3.2, 4.0s. These kids are rock stars.
Awesome.
And as you know, it's expensive, because you got to pay for college track. That ain't free. And you got to pay for FIRST Robotics. And these programs, a lot of the times I have to raise money. Sometimes I don't. Then I have to pay for it myself because these kids are, they did that. Someone did that for me. Someone made sure I hopped on that bus. Someone made sure the magnet program was funded. Someone made sure that there was a line for my family to stand for cheese and milk when we were growing up. I remember that like if it was yesterday. Like, boys, sit still. We gonna miss our place in line. I remember what that felt like. And wow, how strong my mom was to not be embarrassed to wait in line. Right? So all the work that I'm doing is just paying it forward for the things that were done for me. So tomorrow when we launch the company that I started, the kids that are part of my program, we created our API and the SDK kit to make it easy for developers. But the platform is pretty rock solid. So our kids have created an app on our wearable device. It's a real wearable device. So a lot of people in the audience could be like, really, Will.i.am? Great. But this is like, I'm shooting for the stars on this one. I funded it, founded a company, got awesome engineers around me. Because for me to tell a kid you should take a STEM course and then I go off and go on tour, that's hypocritical. I'm saying you should take an interest in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and aim to bring consumer electronic products to market because that's what I'm doing too, and we both come from the same projects. But thank you, Marc.
We couldn't be more excited for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're a great example, great innovator, not only in music, but now in technology. You're going to see an unbelievable company and an unbelievable product launched right here in this room tomorrow. We're so excited to have Will. We're excited to have all these kids here too. I'll tell you, in this room, you can just feel the good vibrations, can't you?